Hello, folks. There are some developments in the Salesforce ecosystem which begs the question, is the community alive? Now, let me take you back in history and share with you my experience with the Salesforce community. I focused on my Salesforce administrator certification starting with the end of 2017. I got my certification in April of 2018. And I started getting involved with the community in Jacksonville, Florida. And at that time, we only had a developer user group. And shortly after that, maybe a year after that, the admin user group became more active. With the involvement and leadership of Mark Lester, we started gathering pretty sizable groups. When we meet, we would get like maybe 20 people, sometimes up to 30 people, sharing their experiences with the Salesforce ecosystem, their learning process, their projects in their current jobs. It was actually a very nice period. And maybe a year after that, I started leading a Salesforce Saturdays group in Jacksonville, Florida, where many people came together and started learning the Salesforce platform by working on Trailhead badges, Trailhead modules together. Well, with the pandemic, if you can remember, everything pretty much went virtual. And then we started meeting using Zoom and all kinds of virtual online platforms. And once the pandemic was over, we really didn't get the same kind of involvement and engagement from the ecosystem. We didn't even get a lot of responses and reactions using the forums that we have available for the Trailblazer user groups. In fact, I would argue that the current platform is quite outdated, and many of the active user groups actually do their interactions on a different platform. Some use Slack, for example. But our meetings nowadays don't really reach the same sizes, right? It's more difficult to gather an audience for our user group meetings. In the last few years, Salesforce expanded the types of user groups you can offer. I'm offering, for example, the architect user group in Jacksonville, Florida as a leader. But as many of you know, the architect program in Salesforce has been discontinued. Some other programs like Salesforce military program has gone pretty much inactive. With the community response, Salesforce decided to reinstate these programs, but that process has been quite painful as well. So we'll see how that will go in the coming years. And recently, Salesforce made a couple of announcements that looked like were cost-cutting initiatives related to the community program. First, Salesforce took away the possibility for the user group leaders to expense adult beverages related to their user group meetings. And the reason was announced to be the liability, the legal liability related to these initiatives. After that, we found out that the Google Gmail system that we use to receive emails as user group leaders were gonna go away, and we needed to use our personal email addresses. The swag support, the swag budget support from the virtual groups have been removed. You had to lead in-person meetings to be able to qualify for swag for your user group members. And then recently we found out, due to difficulties of import, export, and tariffs, the swag ordering program has been temporarily stopped. So Salesforce offered 3 certification vouchers instead of swag for the coming quarter, and said that the swag program will come back. That will remain to be seen. Now, all these initiatives, combined with the difficulty of trying to gather an audience and engage an audience around the Salesforce ecosystem, brings tremendous challenges for the user group leaders. And I also recently found out that the organization and the leadership for the management of the community is also changing within Salesforce. I wanted to record this video and share my thoughts around the topic and summarize what's been happening, and also encourage everybody to create a discussion around this topic. Please comment your suggestions for improvement under this video and start a discussion so that hopefully in the next year we'll have a much better, much active program giving us a higher engagement around the community. Have a great day.